go back to the beginning of this handout in case there was anything you wanted to talk about or anything you saw that you noticed as I was doing it that I was failing or that I was such a success. That's it. And we'll go through this part fast and then we'll get to the new parts. Okay, so for seated balance, I talked about regressing. I talked about how seated balance with feet off is not regression, that it's open chain and it's very difficult. I showed you the equipment, and I always think whether it's weighted equipment or buoyant equipment, the least amount is best because people have to work with their bodies as they are. And if we keep correcting for whatever the issue is with equipment, then we don't ever teach them proper compensatory patterns. So, and I hope that you tried to reach and recover while you were seated, because if I had to make a fool of myself in the pool, you should at least be laughing at yourself. Okay. Any comments about seated balance? Anything about squats? Okay, I just have to say this. With Mary's picture, it looks like we're looking in her nose. And it's beautiful, but it's, oh, look at that. Okay, so she's showing us her view, not her nose. Okay, Feldenkrais. If you're willing to stand up, I can show you one more Feldenkrais exercise or Feldenkrais.
So you know, I'm at the market.
You're doing your shopping?
Yes.
Okay.
Saturday morning. So I'm in line.
Okay, we'll talk to you later, Mary.
Okay.
Keep it focused on your nose. Okay. You guys are all the best. I just want to tell you that I love this. And I love it that we've got a nice small group because it means that we can exchange stories and tell about how things work with our clients. Feldenkrais, Lynn and I were talking during break because she's the one who suggested we try that crossover exercise where I almost drowned. And I said, I think that it's genius. It's like unpredictable command technique. I think it's another genius technique. And Feldenkrais, if you're trying to read more about it, you can read about Feldenkrais, but because it's trademarked, a lot of their information is only for people who have gone through Feldenkrais training. So you probably shouldn't use the Feldenkrais name, but you can call it whatever else you want. And it was started by a guy who, in World War II in prisoner of war camp, who was trying to help other people in the prisoner of war camp regain some abilities after they'd been injured. And he found that if you went back to primal movement you did as an infant in the crib, that it would start to help you regain function. And that I just love it. And because what it does, it's telling you have to go back. Do you see infants lie in the crib and move their arm? No, everything stabilizes before they move their arm. So I really love the technique, and I love that eye aspect. And as Lynn said, people are thinking so much. They're not worried about what hurts, or, I mean, they're not focusing on pain. They're not focusing on, I have to be out of here in 20 minutes, or I'm going to the market as soon as I finish here and I wonder what's on my grocery list. No, People are focusing on trying to keep it together. Now, I have another exercise I'd like you to try. If you feel, oh, Lynn says call it neuromuscular retraining. Perfect, because that's exactly what it is. It's neuromuscular retraining. If you have space to stand up and you need social distancing, stand up, please. And you should have this much space around you. I just fit. Now, get your stance to wherever it's going to be, a comfortable stance, because we're not going to move our feet until we're done with this part. Then think about which is your right side, because I'm going to use my right side, because once I tried to use my left side and it actually showed it different, and it's way too confusing for me. So take your right side, point your finger, extend your arm, and rotate around to see how far it'll go, and pinpoint that spot and come back. Then, with a lot of Feldenkrais exercises, he started with regular physical movements. But you'll see that my head is going toward my hand, so your eyes follow the hand of the arm that's extending. Now, we rest. Actually, let's go ahead and test again. Rotate around, see how far you go. Most people will already have more range of motion. After physical movement, he would go to just eye and head movement. And I think we're going to skip the head movement and just go to eyes. So eyes, right, left, but not fast, and take them all the way to the sides and see everything in the visual field. The eyes are incredible at breaking up compartmental movement. Okay, let's try this same test. Wow, I went way further. Now, because he worked with people who were just in bed or cots, what he'd do is just have them think about the movement. So what I'd like you to do is close your eyes and imagine that your eyes are going right, left, slowly. And if they go, that's okay, but they don't need to. Okay, let's test this one more time. I had a lot more range of motion each time. And I like this one because it's kind of magical. It's something you can do with clients that lets them see how fluid they can be. I live in Florida now with a bunch of other old people. Actually, we live more in a working community, but when you get older, in order to look behind you, you go like this. But when you're younger, you can move from the waist and look behind you. And I can tell you another thing is that many people can't look in the rearview mirror, or don't, I don't know what it is, but they don't have neck mobility, which is why I put the neck one in. But we better do this other side, this side. Okay, let's test this side. That's not bad. Okay, and the first exercise we did was this. Eyes follow the hand of the arm that's extending. I don't think I have this one written anywhere, so if you want to, we can go over it. Test it again. Better. Not doing the head. Normally it would be head and eyes, the eyes moving the head. We're just going to the eyes. No jumping. I wonder how this would be if you did eyes up and down instead. It'd be interesting to play with it. Let's test it again. Oh yeah. And the last one is close your eyes and just picture your eyes. Just imagine that your eyes are going right, left, right, left. This is hard for me because I want to move them. Okay, last time. I just wasn't very good at that. That's amazing. It always amazes me. And will that stay? No. It's just like anything. You have to work on something for, it's usually 8 weeks for muscle adaptation to occur. So if you want something like that to stay, then you've got to try it a couple times a week and keep doing it, and then you'll have that mobility. So many times people think, well, oh, this is great. Now I have this mobility. No, but I guess you already know that. Okay. Oh, my notes.
It's 10:50 if you want that notice.
Oh. And the class ends at 12. My evaluations are always better if I end early. So my goal is to end 10 minutes early just to try to get better evaluations. Okay. Anybody want to say anything about Feldenkrais before we move on? Okay. Then I'm going to quickly do Aichi Fitness. You have it written down there. I didn't write down a progression would be to put your feet together or to make it easier. And you'll see people by themselves. They'll come up out of the water because they can't maintain stability while they're moving their arms. So those are two things that I didn't put into the handout you might want to add.